making that choice to change your state of being with a clear intention and elevated emotion actually changes your state to believe in that future more than you believe in your past. Keep it up. Keep doing it. That's a big explosion in the field. That's important. That's a change in energy. And nobody changes until they change their energy. And when they change their energy, they change their life. So then you make up your mind to do that, and all of a sudden, you have that synchronicity. You have that serendipity. You have that coincidence. And all of a sudden, you're saying, hey, that worked. Something I did inside of me produced an effect outside of me. I'm going to pay attention to what I did. I'm going to do it again. Let's try it again. Let's the experiment continue. You do it again, and then you say, well, when did I stop disbelieving? Oh my God, I stopped disbelieving when I ran into that person. We had that conversation, and oh my God, I returned back to my old belief again. Okay, next time that happens, this is what I'll do. You rehearse it in. So your evolution in your belief in self changes as well. So then, so many people, second point, will actually say this. I read the philosophy, I understand the knowledge, I understand what it means to change, I understand the power of meditation. I saw the testimonials, I saw people heal. I believe it's the truth. I just didn't believe it could work for me. This is a big moment. This is a moment where you step out of the bleachers and you got to get on the playing field. That's the person who says, if this works, and I believe it works, I got to prove it to myself. I got to actually prove it to myself that I believe that it could work for me. And some of them show up every day for a year and never miss their work, never miss their meditation. A whole year in changing from the old self to the new self. They were doing their meditations to change, not to heal. They were doing their meditations to change, and when they changed, they healed. They did their meditations sometimes 3 times a day because they stopped believing. They stopped disbelieving, and they were like, I defaulted. Why? Because I'm feeling the emotion of my past. Some stray thought, some response to someone or something caused me to feel it, and I forgot. I'm back to the emotion that's familiar, and I can't believe in that future. I'm believing in my past. Let me sit down and change my state of being again and get up believing in my future again. And sometimes they had to do it 3 times in one day. And when they understood that's the environment that signals the gene, that's epigenetics, and the end product of an experience in the environment is an emotion, and it is, you could actually signal genes ahead of the environment by changing your emotional state. They were doing it with that intention. And when you assign meaning to the act, you get a greater outcome, and you turn on the prefrontal cortex, and now your biology literally begins to change. And we have data that suggests by just having the intention to make certain genes, to make certain proteins, or signal certain genes and make certain proteins. Just having the intention literally begins to cause the body to make those chemicals. Your neocortex, your thinking brain, is a reflection of everything you know in your life. It's an artifact of the past. It's a record, a repository of everything you've learned and experienced to this date. And you have a neurological network for everything known in your environment. Your parents, your friends, car, your computer, every object, every person, everything. You have a neurological network for your identity as your body, from your past, for your ambitions in your future. Your brain is a reflection of everything that's known. And because you've experienced all these elements in your environment, there's an emotion associated with it. So you have an emotion associated with certain people, different emotions associated with other people, different emotions associated with other objects and things and other places in time. So then there's so much research to show that when you put a person in the same environment and they see the same people and they go to the same places and they do the same things at their exact same time, it's no longer their personalities creating their personal reality. Their personal reality is creating their personality. Their environment is controlling unconsciously or subconsciously the way they're thinking and the way they're feeling. So when they see their coworker, when they see their friend, when they see their parents, they're seeing their parents, their friends, their coworkers, and the neurological network as a memory of the past. And because every one of those people has an emotion associated with it, they start feeling the emotion that's connected to them, and now their state of being then is returning back to the past. So then to change then is to be greater than your environment, to think, act, and feel differently in the same conditions in your life. That's called change. So if it's something that you truly want to change, you're going to remind yourself how you're not going to think. You're going to remind yourself how you're not going to act. You're going to remind yourself how you're not going to feel. And you got to Remind yourself enough times so you don't forget, because the moment you forget, you go unconscious. Then you're going to remind yourself how you are going to think. You're going to remind yourself what you're going to do and rehearse it in your mind. And you're going to remind yourself what feeling you want to stay in the entire time so you don't default back to the old self. If you practice that, I guarantee you'll make some progress. If you lose it, nothing wrong. Tomorrow's another day. You got another chance, and we just get really good at whatever we practice. So then when you return back into your life and you say, okay, no person, no place, no thing, no object, no circumstance, no pain, no craving is going to cause me to move from this state today. I guarantee you, if you're able to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day, something unusual will happen and will come in a way that you least expect, that surprises you and leaves no doubt that what you're doing inside of you is producing some effect outside of you. And the moment you see the feedback in your environment as a result of your internal change, you're going to pay attention and do it again, and you're going to start believing, God, did I really create that? Did that really happen because of how I changed? That's when the game really begins to become exciting. There's 2 times when the door to the subconscious mind opens up. When you wake up in the morning, because your brain waves are going from delta to theta to alpha to beta. And when you go to bed at night, you go from beta to alpha, theta to delta, and you slip through that scale pretty quickly in the morning and the evening. But your brain waves start to change during those times, and one of the features, one of the important elements of meditation is to get beyond the analytical mind. And what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. So 5%, as we said, is our conscious mind, 95% is programmed subconsciously. And if you're going to try to change yourself with your conscious mind, you're outside the operating system. So then you got to learn how to change your brain waves, slow them down, get beyond the analytical mind, and enter the operating system where you can rewrite a program, where you can make those changes. And so learn how to do that, practice, learn how to do that. And again, it's not a big deal, it's easy to learn. And then once you can slow your brainwaves down and you're more suggestible to what you're thinking, now you can reprogram. You can't do it with your conscious mind. You can say, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm unlimited, I'm happy, I'm whole, and your body's saying, no, you're not, dude, you're miserable, you're unhappy. That thought never makes it past the brainstem to reach the body, right? So it's important for us to, in the morning or the evening, instead of reaching for our cell phone as the first thing, as a habit that we do, and checking our texts and our WhatsApp and our Telegram and our social media and our Instagram and our Twitter and Facebook, and whatever else people do, their emails, they get connected to everything known in their life. Before you start that, try this out as an experiment before you start your day. Instead of falling into that redundant habit, go on autopilot, just say, okay, if the change is to be greater than my body, to be greater than my environment, be greater than time, and the environment's so seductive, and my body's craving certain emotions, and it's programmed to get up and do things, I'm going to sit my body down. I'm going to tame the animal here. And when I'm ready to get up, we're going to get up, not when it's tired or when it wants to go. You could literally go inward and forget about your outer world. No longer think about anything out there. If you could lose track of the familiar past or the predictable future and fall into the present moment. And if you were sitting there in silence, aware of nothing but you, and you said, okay, what is the greatest expression of myself I can be today? And do that exact process. Let me write down 2 thoughts that are not going to slip by my awareness unnoticed by me today. 2 memories, whatever it is. What are 2 behaviors I want to change today? Let me stay conscious of them and not go unconscious to them today. Even if it means how I speak. What are 2 emotions that I live by every day that I can literally change? I want to become conscious of what they feel like in my body. I want to catch them the moment I start feeling them. Let me review them over and over again, enough times so I don't go unconscious. Okay, now I'm conscious of my unconscious, that 95%. How do I want to think? How would greatness think today? Let me review it. Let me repeat it. Let me remember how I am going to think. Let me remember how I am going to think. Let me remember how I'm going to behave here. How am I going to act here? Let me rehearse a change I want to make in a certain circumstance. Let me think about how I do want to feel today. Let me open my heart to life again. Let me feel kindness and care and love and gratitude and appreciation. Let me just bring up that feeling. Let me feel it with my heart. Let me keep bringing it up so I can bring it up enough times. I want to get so good at bringing up this feeling with my eyes closed, I can do it with my eyes open. Practice that, and you not make a decision to not get up until you feel that emotion. And ask yourself, can I stay in this state my entire day? And if you can't, you go unconscious, ask yourself at the end of the day, how'd I do? Where'd I go unconscious? Okay, tomorrow morning, new day, new lifetime. Let me go again. Let me try again. And it's the practice, it's the repetition that causes the change. Now here's the beauty behind this, because all of a sudden, when those synchronicities start to happen, when the coincidences start to happen, it's no longer a have to. It's no longer, oh, geez, I got to go create my life. It's not like that. It's like the magic is happening. You don't want it to end. Like you realize that you are actually creating outcomes in your life, and now you're wanting to do the work because you want the magic to continue in your life, and that's kind of what I'm super proud of with our community. We're doers. They do the work not because they have to, because they love all the changes that happen in their life as a result of it, whether it's a mystical experience, a transcendental moment, a great opportunity in their life. They're like, wow, I somehow had a hand in creating this. And so the excitement of life, the adventure of life, the unknown becomes the quest.